Hello, my name is Micah and this is a video today for families who have a young man that are struggling with ADHD. So I'm a therapist and guide in Boulder, Colorado, and when I work with clients I actually work with the whole families. And the reason is that when a young man's dealing with ADHD, there's a lot going on, a lot to manage, a lot of skills to learn, but they really need the support of their whole family unit. They need help with organization, they need encouragement, they need that really shared experience. And the other piece is that it can actually be dangerous and really painful for these young men going through struggles in school or work to feel isolated, alone, and like they have to do all this on their own. So as a therapist, I'm here to advocate for them and help them learn the tools and skills and receive support to move past the symptoms and have some healing. But I'm also here to coach the families into supporting them and really bring that family unit closer together so they're building connection, having fun, and enjoying each other. So if you have a young man with ADHD, what do? I think one of the most common things is people think about is medication, right? So there's two types of medication: a stimulant medication, which is the classic Adderall and Vyvanse, and then there's non-stimulant medication, which is Strattera. And I'm not a doctor. I don't actually prescribe or diagnose ADHD. So that's really between you and your doctor and a psychiatrist. And I really urge you to get a lot of different opinions and do the research and find out what works. I do want to share a thought about medication, though, is that be really clear on your motivation. Are you wanting to take a drug just to get better grades or to succeed through work or do more, become more efficient? Or are you really wanting to take a medication to help support you to live in the world with less stress and pain? So there's a bit of a difference there, and I just really want you to take the time and become clear on what is my motivation behind taking medication, and is there other opportunities or other options for me to go down. So that's a little bit about medication. Some other ways that you can support your teen would be to send them to a therapist. Now, DBT and CBT, which is dialectical behavior therapy and cognitive behavior therapy, are really well-respected therapies around behavior modification. And now with ADHD, a lot of what we talk about in terms of the parts that aren't great about it is that the students or children, young men, aren't engaged in school. They're feeling frustrated, hyperactive, inattentive, impulsive, all these behaviors. And CBT and DBT are really effective at giving the young men and people with ADHD the tools to learn how to thrive within that diagnosis. Some other options beyond that might include attachment theory work, somatic work, eco-psychology and eco-therapies. And those are going to be really getting more at the root cause of the problem and dealing with more of the healing and the pain behind the symptoms. Now, they're both and all really important. And now these are things that you can do to send your child to and offer support. And if you have that privilege and resource, that's great. And if you don't, I wanted to offer that there's a couple simple things that you as a family can do. And the first and foremost is really accepting your child for who they are. Now, that doesn't mean enabling them to make bad or dangerous decisions, but it also means that they might see and behave in the world differently than you do. And there might be a neurological or biological reason for that. So the more support and care that you can offer your child, the more empathy you can really give them, the easier time they're going to have finding their way through the world, finding their path, developing the skill sets. So I really, really want to urge you as parents to really hold them with compassion, love, and kindness around this. Now, I know that being a parent's challenging, and I would love for you, if you can, to turn some of that energy towards yourself, because there is going to be moments of frustration. There's going to be moments of feeling like you just can't do it. And that's why it's so important for you to have outside resources to come help. That might look like an aunt and uncle, that might look like a therapist, life coach, academic coach. There's lots of different strategies. So I personally work as a therapist and guide. So what that means is that I use the DBT skills and also the somatic psychotherapy and eco-psychotherapy or wilderness therapy approaches. And I work a bit as a coach to work with you as parents as we're developing those skills with your young man. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, I'd really love to hear from you and set up a 1-hour consultation. And that can really find out of, where are you right now? What are your struggles? Where do you want to be? What would it look like? What would it feel like to have some of these symptoms reduced, to have your family back, have more connection? And most importantly, am I the person to get you there, or is there someone else that might actually be a better fit? So I'd love to take an hour, get to know you, and find out how I can best support you in finding someone or in working with me. Thank you so much for listening to this video, and I look forward to hearing from you.